Hello everyone, I'm Chris Mozillo, Susanoo's son, and this is a retrospective of Okami. So, Okami. An outstanding game from when I was younger, and it's one of my favourite games of all time. Or at least one of my favourite games from the PlayStation 2. Originally made by the golden studio that was Clover Studios. They have sadly since passed away, as it were, and turned into the Platinum Studio, that is Platinum Games. However, now the game has finally been re-released onto Xbox, PlayStation 4 and PC for that hot HD action. Hot like the sun. This is not what I had expected. But the game is back with its incredibly long opening and all. But you're Amaterasu, the embodiment of the sun, beauty, grace, Miss United States. After an opening segment that'll make even Kojima sweat, you finally get to dive into the game as a wolf, setting out on a journey to restore the beauty of the world from disgusting demonic taint. With the dreaded 8-headed serpent Orochi mysteriously back on the rise, Amaterasu is needed to use her divine powers to cleanse the world of this menace using her celestial brush techniques. But wouldn't you know it, you've only gone and misplaced your celestial brush techniques. Your previous incarnation of 100 years prior would be rolling in their grave if they could see you now. If they had a grave. Gods don't have graves. On your journey, you'll come across a whole number of gods who'll give you their divine brush techniques, which are useful for solving the various puzzles and dungeons. These powers vary wildly, from the power of restoration, given by a dragon, the power of explosives, given by a pig, and maybe even the power of knives, given by this cute, adorable little mouse with a cute tiny sword. Oh, this one is mostly just used for destroying all the trees, apparently. Although a large portion of your quest does involve actually going around the area and restoring trees, but most importantly, the scenic beauty. You'll come across the warrior Susanoo, who claims to be a descendant of the legendary hero Nagi. He mostly sleeps and might just also be all talk. But hey, maybe with a little bit of divine intervention, we might make a warrior out of him yet. It's not exactly chocobo racing, is it? Susanoo is an odd character, as he seems to gain a fair number of his powers just from rampant alcoholism. It's that or the godly powers of a little white wolf, but I prefer to think it's the alcohol. And then, later into the journey, Susanoo comes across his fiercest foe yet, a sleepy bear. Using his latest secret move, he puts an end to this menace on society, and to be honest, it's just a rather odd scene where a man wildly laughs after having supposedly killed a bear. Your alcohol-fueled divine will doesn't stop there, as even Mr. Orange is in line for some godly assistance. as well as a small sip of sake. I'm gonna have to start living by this attitude. Using your divine intervention to fix the world and all its problems is quite fun, although sometimes the hint can be, well, a little obvious. Man, I'm so thirsty. I wish someone would just get me a drink. Fine. However, during the heat of the moment, your divine powers can also seem to not quite fit in with the pacing. Right, that's a close enough circle, and there we go. You might have noticed that there's already a whole host of fun and colourful characters. Whether it be the poetic prophet Walker and his glowing sword, Pillow Talk, the group of dogs that are more or less the Power Rangers, the scary Cutter family and that whole nightmare, and even a bird-based mafia. There's even a training dojo to learn new and exciting moves, the only issue being is that there's something not quite right about this guy's head. Like, I don't know, something upside down about it. Oh no, now all I can see is the other head upside down. The combat is a simple but effective affair that involves, well, simple combos, but also enemies that rely on the use of your brush techniques to take them down. You pick up a variety of divine instruments to use as a weapon, such as giant swords, reflective mirrors, beads, and the deadliest weapon of them all, Mr. Orange the Old Man. As well as whatever your own natural wolf body can achieve. It's a game that is filled with exploration and adventure, with more side quests than you might even initially realise, and it's just whole heaps of character. I mean, you're playing as a god that is a wolf, for crying out loud. Whether you're exploring a dungeon or feeding some animals, there's always a bizarre quirk to the whole game that keeps it so entertaining. Each segment feels so different from the last, with stories all bleeding together. What other game are you chased by an angry sea serpent while also riding on a whale? Oh no! The game gives you these brief moments of freedom to sort of just paint whatever you want. Because why not? I mean, it's a game about painting, so why not give you the freedom to just paint whatever you want, you know? Oh no, what are my hands doing? No! At least I'll never come across this mistake ever again. Oh no, what have I done? Along with the re-HDifying of the game itself, they've also reintroduced the loading screen minigames. That's right, they took them away for the PS3 version, but now they're back with a vengeance. People wanted them back, and now they're back. Okami to this day is still this exceptional adventure game, with its beautiful art style and fun and interesting characters. You can't help but be entertained, but also just feel this constant need to drive on through just this wonderful story. Sadly, with the new HD version, things like draw distance do become more apparent of an issue as trees suddenly pop into existence. But to take part on this epic journey so filled with joy, drama and gripping revelations, it's hard not to want to play it. The game has definitely aged well, and there's just so much that I haven't even mentioned because there's just so much of the game to see and love. Okami is definitely one of those games I find myself thinking about regularly, especially this one particular scene that has stuck with me so much because it had so much impact on it. Not because of that. It's just this wonderfully epic adventure filled with wonderful characters that you'll just fondly remember, as well as these epic storytelling moments that stick with you forever. Anyway, thank you for watching my video. If you'd like to leave a comment about your own thoughts about Okami, maybe fond memories about the wolf we know and or love, or both, and it's a case of, yeah, feel free to subscribe. Anyway, thank you and goodbye.